All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another spotlight session. Today, I am talking to Lisa, and Lisa is one of my winners of one of my challenges. And I'm so happy to welcome her because she is writing about something which is very close and dear to my heart, and I can't wait to talk about it today with her. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome.
Thank you, Yana. I'm very, very honored to be here. It's a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you too. I'm also very happy. You are actually so active in one of my, actually in both of my challenges, I think, and for so long already. So it's really finally we are here today, and I'm so happy that um, we get the chance to talk about your Substack today. But for the people who don't know you yet, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. So my name is Lisa, and well, actually, it's Lisa Marie. The story is my mother was a huge fan of Elvis Presley,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yes, he had named his daughter Lisa
Yes,
Marie.
yes.
So when I was born, she thought, okay, I'm also going to name my daughter Lisa Marie. But for some reason, when someone had filled in the birth certificate, instead of writing Lisa Marie as the first name, they put Lisa as the first and then Marie as the second name.
Okay.
So, so I'm either go by Lisa or Lisa Marie.
Okay.
I'm from South Africa and I'm currently living in the Netherlands. The reason I'm in the Netherlands is because my husband is Dutch,
Oh.
and so I'm one of those people I always feel like I'm doing things much later than what's expected from society. So I always feel like I'm blooming late.
Yeah.
And I actually only got married for the first time at 45.
Really? That's
Yes.
amazing.
So, well, when I had my 40th birthday, I think my parents were starting to get very worried and they couldn't understand, like, why wasn't I getting married and, having children and that kind of thing. But I didn't want to be pressured into doing it.
Yeah.
So I got married at 45 and I actually, like mid 40s, ended up, changing my whole life and leaving South Africa and selling my car and doing all that kind of stuff and moving to the Netherlands to learn a new culture, a new language, and work in like a new environment and have to assimilate all of that. So I've done this starting over mid 40s, and I do write a lot about that because I've had the experience. And it's been an interesting ride or journey for me to do it at this age,
Yeah.
but it's been good. And my work background, I've always worked in marketing for most of my life.
Yes.
And when I decided to start writing, I kind of used like my marketing background to help me with that.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I've worked in corporate, I've worked in advertising agencies, and at the end of last year, I decided that I wanted to work for myself because I always felt like I could do it. And so I've been freelancing and working on my own business this year.
So we have so much in common that I just don't know where to start. Because so I'm 42 right now, and I'm also not married, and my
Okay.
so my grandparents are always, putting pressure on me, and but I try to avoid that. So
I totally understand that. Yes.
yes,
I've had many, many questions before I got married.
yes.
The people asking, what is wrong with you? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, but I have a partner. We are living almost 20 years together.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and then just we don't have kids, but we do have a dog, a crazy dog.
Ah, okay.
We,
Well,
we just don't want to get married because he has a kid from a previous marriage, and my kids are my Substack.
I get it.
I'm really devoted to. I mean, I just don't feel it right now. But maybe now that I'm listening to you, you give me hope. Maybe I will do it in the future. It's not too late.
Well, I'm really enjoying married life. It's been good so far, and we have a lot of fun. And I have two bonus kids, but they're older. So my husband did have two kids. He was married previously. They're in their 20s, and so it's just me and him at home, and I'm trying to convince him to get a dog as well to join the family.
Yes. Great. See how much things we have in common. And I also have been in something like an advertising agency within my corporate job, and so many things in common we have. Amazing. But yes, so okay, so you say you're freelancing, but it's basically it's your business now already, right? You're full time in this.
Yes, full time doing this. So I've been doing it since January. I took the plunge really because I had worked in the Netherlands for more than 2 years, so I had that experience and getting a feel for it, and it did help me, kind of get used to living in the country and navigating work life here as well. So I think that was very important. But I've always known that I wanted to work for myself. So I thought, why not do it now and go all in and give it a shot? And I just had this deep burning feeling in my belly that I could do it.
Awesome. That's really amazing. And it's so inspirational. I hope other people also get that energy and follow your example, because that's the right way to do it. Basically, when you start from such kind of a starting point, there is no way that you will not make it work. I mean, you will definitely, it will work. It's just because everything starts with the mindset, and that kind of mindset is what actually makes it work. Right. So so you're on Substack since this January, you say?
So my story with Substack, I actually found Substack about 2 years ago,
Okay.
and I I did start a newsletter which was called Blooming Late, and I sent out a few newsletters, but I didn't really know what I was doing at that point in time, and I wasn't growing. I didn't have a clear plan. I
Yeah.
was very inconsistent, and I kind of, in a way, lost interest. And I thought, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I was working full time,
Yeah.
and I deleted it and I let it go.
Yeah.
But in my 9 to 5 work, I was also working with newsletters and that kind of thing. And so when I left, I decided, well, let me start a newsletter again. And I'd actually started it on another platform, and I got about 100 subscribers. And I think the thing that I ran into is that I was listening to too much other advice instead of actually just following my own intuition as well. And my writing kind of felt like a formula, and it didn't feel like me. And I started hearing a lot of people talking about Substack again. So at the end of March, I decided to have a look at it again. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try again. And I really want to follow my own intuition and, start writing the way I like to write, like with my voice.
Yeah.
And so I started from scratch, and it literally happened on a Friday afternoon in 2 hours. I created the Substack. I uh, I even put on paid immediately because I thought, okay, that's what you have to do. So I went through everything in the settings and I set everything up, and I even wrote my first post and I sent it out.
Yeah.
And I think that this time I told myself, I'm really going to learn what the app is about. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to read. I'm going to really try and understand it better this time. And
Yeah.
so I had a different approach, different mindset when I came to it. I still didn't know much, to be honest, because, like I said to you, I turned on paid without even having any idea what extra I would
Yeah.
be offering paid subscribers. And I just had this idea, well, I'm going to write every week and I'm going to become consistent and I'm going to improve my writing and I'm going to grow a community. And that's so at the end of March, that's how I ended up back at Substack.
Yeah, yeah, but that's an amazing story. So it's been more or less 6 or a little bit more than 6 months already, and starting from scratch, you're now sitting at 1,200 subscribers, more or less, and that's already a clear sign that you, whatever you're doing, you are onto something for sure. It is working. It is working, I would say. And you have a lot of viral notes, so I'm gonna ask you about this as well.
Well, the interesting thing about the viral notes is that, for the first my first 3 months on Substack, I only had 38 subscribers. And for some reason, I can't even tell you why, two people became paid.
Yeah,
And when that happened, I thought, oh my gosh, I better get serious about this and figure out what product or what value am I offering paid subscribers. But for 3 months, there was no traction, but I continued to write every week. And I'd also told myself, because I had read on Substack that in order to grow, you should write at least one note
yeah,
a day. So I kind of gave myself a challenge at that time to write one note a day. And I didn't even know you could schedule notes at that point. So what I did, I would write like 7 notes for the whole week,
yeah,
and I'd paste them in my notes app on my phone.
yeah.
And then every day I would manually post a note. But I got zero likes, zero comments, nothing was happening. But I was still on the app and I was liking other people's posts and I was engaging. And then one Thursday, 3 months later, I realized I was making dinner and I realized, oh my gosh, I haven't posted on Substack. And at that point, I was really just trying to build the muscle of being consistent and just keep going with it, even though I was getting nothing back.
Yeah,
And so I found like an extra note in my notes app, and I really didn't think anything of the note.
yeah,
And I posted it. And then I closed the Substack app and I continued with life. And I only checked Substack again the next day at lunchtime. And then I saw all these notifications coming in, new subscribers, new subscribers. And I said to my husband, I think Substack is broken because I'm not sure what's happening. So I went in and then I checked the note and I was like, what is going on? That note went viral. And I honestly didn't think anything of that note. I didn't think it would be viral. And like, so I got like 300 subscribers from one note. And that's actually, how it started growing. And then I really started taking it seriously. And I was like, okay, this is a business. I need to get serious about it. And I really need to pay attention.
yeah, yeah. That's how it starts usually. So, yes. Yeah, so I also, when I started, I was kind of I had my doubts about this platform because I have tried so many platforms already and social media as well, and nothing really worked the way that I wanted it to work for me. Because of my 9 to 5 job, I wanted to have something that is really, that's giving me a sense of some kind of stability, and not not so not having this, ups and downs of like algorithm working for me and then it doesn't, which is happening all of the time on the other platforms. But when you have a newsletter, it's actually predictable, and with notes, it's more or less, it's not the average social media, and also not um, it's not really working like that. Although the algorithm is similar, the difference is that when you have subscribers, and especially people that are subscribed to you from the app and who are active in the app, then when you post a note, those people are actually seeing it, because they even get a notification, which is not something that is happening on social media. And that's really great about Substack. And the more you grow, the better this works for you, because more and more people are initially on the app, and when you post a new note, then they get to see the note, and if they engage with it, then they give it this initial boost, which is enough for the algorithm to pick it up and distribute it to people outside of your circle, so that you actually grow with new subscribers. That's how it works. And that's happening with you lately. It's not just one viral note, right?
It's actually been amazing, but I think it's just because I've been consistent with it, and I've there hasn't been a day where I haven't posted a note since I started, even when it was very quiet. And then, I'm doing obviously the quest as well. So I'm writing down all the information, I'm taking notes, and I suppose maybe it's from my marketing background. I also go and look at the stats, the data,
Yeah,
and I check what's working and what's not. And I, I've tried to be very, very focused. I'm always thinking about who am I speaking to,
yeah,
who's my ideal reader or ideal customer, if you want to put it that way.
yeah.
And when I post the notes, I always try to make sure that I'm also posting within my pillars that I have
Yeah.
and that it's speaking to the right person. And yeah, I've just kept going with that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yes, everything in my quest is also coming from my background, and it's great that it feels so native to you as well, so that you can basically directly take and apply. But I'm seeing a lot of what I call high engagement, close to viral notes, so above 100 likes, and one actually close to 2,000 likes already 5 days ago. And you're really a great example about this.
Thank you. Well, I'm following all your advice, so I'm getting good information from you.
Thank you. But yeah, just for the people to know, can you share some best practices? What out of your experience so far with so many viral notes, what have you learned that it's working actually right now on Substack? Now that Substack actually changed, but it's working great for you. So what would be, this one or two or three things about notes that hits every time?
I think with the notes, I always try to make sure that there is, because obviously from my background with writing and with marketing, I understand that and I've done a lot of work in social media as well. So I understand like the first 3 seconds you have to hook someone in. So I always try with my notes, try to have at least the opening is a hook
Yeah,
that's going to get people into it. I always try to have some kind of storytelling with some of the notes. Some of them are vulnerable. Um, some of them are like timeline notes. So at 25,
yeah,
I did this at 35, this at 45. So kind of telling a story through a timeline.
yeah,
And um, I always try to also have like a very strong closing or call to action at the end, asking a question or um, something like that.
yeah.
But I'm also not afraid to test a few notes as well to see what resonates and what doesn't. And I think that I've also, followed your advice where initially I posted one note a day, but then with doing the challenges, I now post like 3 to 4 notes a day. And I've noticed that doing that every day, I'm actually getting a lot more traction.
Exactly. Yeah. You just have more, you're multiplying this effect uh, technically. That's what so when we discuss with other people, and some people tell me, it's not the game of volume, it's actually if you post one note which is highly a high quality note, or with very strong hook, then it's going to do the work. But actually if you post three of them, then you're multiplying that same effect.
I've definitely found that to be the case.
Yeah, me too. Oh, great. That's that's really amazing. I'm so happy that it works for you. Do you use that, just out of curiosity, do you use that GPT that I have in the paid subscription?
I use that, and I'm also using the scheduler from Fin Tofi
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned to you, I was a little bit scared when I went on holiday in September to schedule all my notes for the month, and I knew that I was not really going to be checking my computer, so I wouldn't be engaging with anyone.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how that would go,
Yeah.
but it actually worked. I mean, I think it's just the consistency of putting out quality notes works, because even if you're not engaging, I still grew while I was away and having a break.
Yeah.
So I've been using the chat GPT. It works amazingly well for me. And I've also been, using the scheduler to try and schedule the right notes at the right time
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay, so what do you have in your Substack for free and for paid subscribers right now?
So on my Substack for free, I do two. I basically post once a week. I do one free post followed by a paid post. I've built that rhythm since I started on Substack. So there's two free pay posts and two paid. And with the paid, um, I've been working through the quest.
Yes.
And with my paid subscribers, I do a audio. So I wanted to feel like we're sitting together in a circle, and we're at my kitchen table at midnight having very like vulnerable, honest conversations. So with the paid subscribers, I do either do a video or audio note that I put out to them. And then I also give them two prompts and one small ritual to do. Because my Substack is really about helping people make small changes that compound over time so that they've got like long lasting changes in their lives.
Okay.
And so I try to give as much practical advice as I can in the paid. And it's been working really well. But obviously, I'm always thinking about how I could add extra value. So I am, for the next 3 months, also looking at testing things.
Yeah.
And when I came back from holiday, I had this like intuitive idea that I wanted it to be more about community as well. So in October and November, I'm actually testing with two of my paid subscribers. I'm going to do a Q&A with them.
Okay.
And I'm going to post that so that they can also get their stories out there. And I'm going to see how that works, because I like that idea. So if it works, I'll continue with that. And then also test a few other things.
Yes. It's all about test and learn, and then applying and see what's working, and then double down on what's working, and then remove what's not working, and so on. And that's how you get um, to building what other people call a system that works for you, and then you simply maintain it, and then it starts growing exponentially. So your Substack, it's called the Open Draft. And I'm curious, how did you come up with this name? I always want
Well,
to ask you. Yes.
the I when I was that afternoon, when I was just purely going on a gut feel and opened the Substack, and initially I was going to write about healing and grief, because I had felt like these were going to be letters to my father, because he passed away in 2017. And I thought, okay, I'm going to write these letters to him that are going to help me heal with my grief. And they're just going to be letters telling him, oh, what's happening in my life and what's going on and how I feel, and, that kind of thing. And I thought about, okay, well, the open draft is kind of, you open an email and it's a blank page
Yeah.
of possibility, and you decide what words you're going to put on that page. And you can write something, you can delete it, you can change it, you can edit it
Yeah.
before you send it out. So my idea was that it's really a blank page of possibility for what your next chapter, if you want to call it that, would be.
Yeah.
You get to decide the words, you get to decide the direction of it.
Yeah.
And I loved how that could go and what it could do. And it actually worked out for me, because I don't really write about the healing and grief so much anymore, because I also learned early on with Substack, that it's not really about me. It's about the reader, and it's about, how can I help them with something? What solution can I provide? So my Substack has evolved quite a bit with that. And I'm more in the space of like personal growth now, because that is something that no matter what I've been going through in my life, when I write, I always somehow write about a personal growth angle.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it definitely stays with your readers because you have high engagement and you have all of the signs that this could go that grow really, really big on Substack. Um,
Oh, thank you.
yeah, and I think I believe it. I really love what you're doing, and also the notes are a great sign that it is already happening. Um, yeah. I have a question about challenges that you are facing right now or have faced so far on Substack. And yeah, what are have you had some like lessons learned or some also learnings that you could share that you addressed and they worked well so that other people can learn from your experience so far?
Well, I think initially when I first started, the biggest challenge was the being met with silence and not really getting a lot of feedback on your posts. And so initially you feel like, okay, am I going in the right direction? And am I not? I'm not getting feedback. How should I continue? But I've literally just seen that also as a learning and lesson, because a lot of people I found, especially in the beginning, a lot of people don't necessarily like or comment, but I would like meet up with a friend and she'd say, "Oh, I read your post and I loved it and it really helped me." And I would say, "Oh, okay." It would be nice to know that in the moment. But as I've grown and as I've posted more, I really just think that you have to just keep going and stay consistent and keep writing, and then you'll get a feel for what's working and what's not working. Um, and I kind of now when I write and I put it out there, and then I forget about it and I walk away because it's not always about the number of likes. It's about how have you changed someone's life, even if it's just one person. So I always think about that when I write something is the point is to change someone's life, even if it is one person.
Exactly.
Um, and I think that also initially when I went from like 38 subscribers to 300 and something, I had this, I felt fearful to make my next post because it felt like such a huge jump to go from like 30 to 300. And I really had to like give myself a pep talk, like, it's okay. Whether just write like you're writing to one person, and that's how you get through it. So that next post, I was really scared, but I did it. And I think that's also the whole point of it, is like you've got to move through very uncomfortable moments sometimes. And I'm also a recovering perfectionist, so I love things to be perfect, but it can't always be. And I think I'm learning to also not labor over a post and like start letting my mind go in all different directions. And I'm trying to actually just get faster and faster with putting stuff out there and letting it go and
Yeah.
then taking it from there.
Yeah, yeah, I really love that. It's so inspirational because everyone is going through those same initial steps where they basically feel invisible, me including. So everyone starts there. But the thing is to stay active and to keep looking for the right way to make it work for you until you do. And sometimes it's simple as that. And you're a great example, another great example that it's actually working. And it's really, really amazing. All right. What about some best practices about connecting with other people? You said community is important to you. Besides those things that you plan to introduce in your Substack, what about the community on Substack in general? Do you use it in order to grow as well, and how?
Um, I've actually really enjoyed meeting a lot of people on Substack. So, I meet a lot of people and I see a lot of the same people commenting or engaging. And then, I also read their post and I get to know a bit about them, like the human being, like what they're going through in
Yeah.
life. And I've actually really enjoyed a lot of the conversations I've been having. I sometimes feel like I'm making a lot of friends on Substack. And I think that's how it goes. So I do use my chat to ask questions. I haven't been that active since I've come back from holiday, but I am going to be using it a lot more just to engage more and ask more questions. I do every day at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes I do spend on, going and checking other people's posts and also commenting on it and trying to just meet other people on Substack.
Yeah.
And I do, I'm a bit of an introvert. So I'm a bit shy with regards to collaborations, but it is something I do want to work on in the future is more collaborations with other people and in that way try and engage and grow. I really want to grow authentically, so whatever I do I really want to put some like a lot of intent and thought into it. And I mean, so far, I've learned a lot from you, and I'm constantly reading on Substack and I'm seeing what's happening, and then I just like apply what works for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I was also like that, which is kind of strange for people who are coming from marketing to be kind of, camera shy, and also this type of introvert, to have this element of introversy in the character. But I also was like that. Um, I even thought about going faceless without showing my face. But once you Substack is simply different, and when you embrace all of the opportunities and all of the collaborations that this platform gives us, and just really give into it, it feels amazing.
It
Besides
is
the
it is
growth,
amazing.
it is.
Yeah.
Besides the growth, yes. And that's also one of the reasons why I created those spotlight sessions, because it's one of the ways that I'd like to connect with my paid members as well. uh,
Yeah, and it's quite amazing. Sometimes on the notes, I always go and read the comments, and some people have such interesting stories, and I find a lot of the comments very inspiring, like what everybody is sharing. So I really do like enjoy like speaking and replying to people and really like giving that kind of time to it.
yeah, yeah, me too, me too. It's really, you could say that Substack actually changed me in a way.
I feel that too.
Yeah, exactly. All right. If you had to start Substack all over again, what would you do differently? Is there something that you would do differently?
Yes, I would probably do everything differently because, from going through the quest, I'd probably give, like you said, I would reverse engineer how I started it. And I would first think about, okay, what is my product and what value am I going to provide to my readers
Yeah,
um, first, and then work out a whole strategy of how that would work.
yeah,
I think I probably would do a lot more research into it.
yeah,
And um, yeah, I would definitely put more thought into that because, like I said, I kind of started it on a gut feeling. And after working through the quest, and thank you for giving us so much to think about and so much homework to do. And my husband is my sparring partner. And every time I go to him and I say, okay, are you available to listen to me right now? Because I've got a thought and I've got to run this by you. And he's like, oh my gosh. But it's been really good. And I've listened to every one of your videos and I've worked through the quest like systematically from number one to where I am now, and I'm still going through it.
yeah.
And I've really sat with a pen and paper and written down and thought about it. So I mean, I think it would be nice to have your quest first, and then I would have started my Substack. But yeah, I would have put a lot more thought into it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I did. In the beginning, I was kind of in the middle. I was thinking, okay, should I go all in and then figure it out on the way, or just probably just pause and think about it first. And then I chose to think about it first. And the quest was actually everything that I did on my side in the beginning before I went all in. And I'm happy that I did so, because if I had chosen the other way around, then it would be, I think it would be catastrophic for me, like almost all of the experiments that I have done on the other platforms. You have to do your homework, but this time, because Substack is a newsletter platform, and because people are not just following you but giving you their email addresses, you have to take it seriously.
No, absolutely. I really had a mindset change, and I really look at it like a business, and I treat it like that. And it's really helped
Yeah.
with that, like switch.
Yes. Same on my side, because I do it. I'm not. I haven't quit my 9 to 5 job yet, my corporate job, and I do it on the side. And a lot of the things that I have done so far on the different platforms were just for fun, like for testing, trial and error, and so on. And nothing really worked so well with the way that it works right now on Substack.
Yeah, it's been really good with like organically finding you new subscribers, like giving you the spotlight and putting you out there without, having to struggle with social media and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's an amazing platform, and I hope it stays like that. It doesn't change the way that social media changes. Hopefully. So they say that they're gonna launch paid ads, but I trust that they would do it the right way, like the same way that they are doing everything else the right way. It's not like any other social media. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed. All right. What would be your best productivity tips?
Oh, so for me, I'm a very like tick off the boxes type of person. So I have my checklist, but I would say for yourself, figure out when your most productive hours are. And for me, that's first thing in the morning. So I block out at least 2 hours very early in the morning where I come straight to my desk and I'm full of ideas, and the thoughts just flow out of me, and I my phone is not here, and I just sit and I write and I create in those
Yeah.
hours. So
Yeah.
I would say your best hours for creativity, block them out. um I'm also a big person on saving time when creating content. So for notes, for example, I try to batch create like a whole month of notes at once and schedule them. And that for me, that saves time. And when I'm thinking about writing my post, I try and think of like for the whole month, what
Yeah.
am I going to write about? And does it make sense, from the first one to the fourth one? Is there like progression, and does the story make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm big into like batch creation as well.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that, there's a lot of advice out there, and I think it's good to do trial and error and not be afraid of it. So I've done a lot of that to see what works for you. And then just keep the things that work for you. But yeah, I'm a big person of like blocking out time and then just going for it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that also did well for me, because I'm not a person which is planning and like going through the plan and following like predefined steps or something like that. I keep everything in a chaos around me, and I pretty much, people don't believe me, but I don't really have a content plan. I mean, everything is in my head. I know what I have to do every month, and then everything else is whatever comes to my mind as an idea around it. And it's working really well. But blocking time to do something, whatever it is, it works really, really well for me as well.
Yeah, and I'm also a person that, I want to do 100 things at once. So for me, I try and think, okay, for today, what is the one most important task that I have to do today that is going to move the needle in the business? And then I sit and I focus on that first.
Yes. That's something that I got from my 9 to 5, from my corporate background, that kind of skill to be able to prioritize the important things. It sounds really simple, but in reality, it's not. We as humans, we tend to overwhelm ourselves with everything that we need to do, and you try to do everything at once, and that's always a bad idea. And then most people, when they start prioritize, they not always necessarily pick the right things that are actually, as you said, moving the needle, that are making an impact. And they do something that feels easy, which is something different always. So, yeah. So corporate background really helps.
It has definitely helped. I mean, with so many things for me, it's definitely helped.
For me too, for me too. And I realized a lot of things. But now also this Substack is helping back to my corporate experience, because I gain a lot of knowledge about content creation and engagement and audiences, like additional knowledge that I cannot get from the corporate background. And I'm teaching them as well right now a little bit. It's great. Okay, Lisa, it was a really, really great conversation today, and I think we can go on for almost another hour, because we are always almost 1 hour now. It's
Oh, wow. Yeah.
amazing, but I didn't feel it at all. But yeah, last question. We at some point we have to we have to close it. If money is not an issue, what would you do?
Oh, for me, it's easy. I have three passions that I've always had my whole life, and that's writing, travel, and food. So my favorite place in the house is the kitchen. I love to cook.
Yeah.
And I think my husband and I both come from a multicultural family. So I would probably incorporate all three, and maybe we would get one of those camper vans or something, and we'd probably drive from the Netherlands down through, I don't even know the route, but probably go through Spain or something into North Africa and drive from the north of Africa down to the south, and just really like learn about other people's cultures and stories, and incorporate that with food, and film it and write about it. Because I love to travel, and the more I travel, the more I realize that as human beings, we're more connected than we think. And we might have different cultures and languages and food, but there's so much that we also have in common.
Yeah.
And I love that thread of human connection. So I think that, yeah, I would find a way to incorporate all three.
That's amazing. I think you're already doing it, and it's an amazing. It means that you already have this abundant life.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I mean, I think I've I've done a lot of growth myself, like mindset, and oh my gosh, I've done the research on everything, on meditation and journaling and all that kind of stuff. So I really do practice it myself, but yes, I could talk about it for days.
Yeah. Yes. And that's why you have your Substack, actually.
Exactly.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, well, thank you so much, Lisa. It was a great conversation today and a great session, and I hope people will find lots of valuable stuff in it. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thanks, Yana. Thanks for the challenges. I love them. And thanks for the quest and for all that you share with us. It really has helped me, and I'm sure everyone else, tremendously. So I thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, thank you. Join me for a spotlight session like this. All you need to do is to join one of my monthly challenges, either notes or writing. Stay consistent and make sure you add yourself to the accountability tracker. Oh, and you have to be one of my paid members. If you complete just one of those challenges in just one single month, it's highly probable that I will select you for a spotlight session so that you can talk about yourself, share your personal story, and spread the word about your Substack so that more people will learn about it and hopefully become your subscribers. I distribute those sessions to my entire subscriber list on Substack, ConvertKit, NowKit, and my Medium account and my social media channels. It's easy to win those challenges, and all you need to do is just to stay consistent. I see you inside.